Thank you, Chair Klobuchar. I'm a huge advocate of the consumer welfare standard, and I've also made clear that in no universe should application of that standard be limited to a focus on price and output. Those are factors to be considered. They are not the exclusive list of things to be considered when applying the consumer welfare standard. Innovation effects are a perfect example of how antitrust enforcers and also courts can and should apply a more comprehensive understanding of consumer welfare. When competition suffers, so does innovation. And when innovation suffers, that harms consumers. In fact, one might say that competition is itself the mother of innovation. Competition really can't occur, especially in our society, in our economy today, without a lot of innovation. Monopolists and other large, unthreatened incumbents feel no need to improve their products or to develop new ones, not as long as consumers continue to pay for the old ones. And as long as that expectation holds firm, they're not going to feel it. They're even less motivated to develop products and services that create new markets that would cannibalize the old. There's no reason horse and buggy manufacturers, it shouldn't come as a surprise to us. In other words, there is a reason that it wasn't horse and buggy manufacturers who came up with the automobile. Ensuring that competition thrives and results in useful innovation depends mostly on the competitors and innovators themselves, but it also requires two important things from government. One is to protect the free market by vigorously enforcing antitrust laws, to prevent harmful consolidation and anti-competitive conduct. And two, to step back and refrain from regulation and market interference of the sort that tends to disrupt the competitive process and make innovation harder. In fact, when the antitrust laws are properly enforced, the need for government regulatory intrusions elsewhere diminishes. My own state of Utah has been particularly successful at this, which is one of the reasons why U.S. News and World Report rated Utah's economy as the strongest out of the 50 states this year. Utah is at the forefront of protecting consumers from anti-competitive conduct, including by joining antitrust lawsuits against Google and Facebook. And I commend Utah Attorney General Sean Reyes for joining in that and commend the Antitrust Division of the Department of Justice for its actions, and also the Federal Trade Commission insofar as they've undertaken steps in these areas. I commend them for that. And our state has seen its pro-free market regulatory approach attract businesses and investors from around the country, resulting in a growing tech community and a vibrant startup ecosystem. This has occurred in part because of Utah's historic approach toward regulation, which is a light touch one, and it's been accelerated of late with the Regulatory Sandbox Initiative that's been adopted by our state legislature at the behest of a number of zealous proponents, including the original proponents at the Libertas Institute in Utah. In 2020, Utah startups racked up over $30 billion of liquidity events just in 2020 alone. This is a massive vote of confidence in the innovation that's happening in the Beehive State. This year has seen an additional $14 billion in investments so far, including 7 IPOs of Utah companies like Owlet and Recursion Pharmaceuticals. Owlet is a company started by Brigham Young University graduates who started it out of their garage. And in this garage, they developed a baby sock that monitors blood oxygenation and alerts parents to any problems. Recursion was founded in 2013 and incubated at the University of Utah, where it developed technology to significantly accelerate drug development. Utah is quickly becoming the face of competition and innovation. I do worry, however, that D.C. bureaucrats may spoil the party for everyone. Antitrust enforcement that goes beyond stopping mergers and conduct presenting harm to consumers, and instead seeks to punish anything and everything that displeases progressives, displeases whatever administration happens to be in power, or looks solely at what is big at the moment as looking too big in the eyes of antitrust regulators. These are all things that threaten to do more harm than good. So too do regulations that entrench incumbents and create barriers to entry and stifle innovation. Owlet, for example, the company I mentioned a moment ago that was started in a garage by some BYU graduates, has been hampered by overregulation and ineptitude at the FDA, meaning that Owlet's products will temporarily be unavailable in the United States. That, in turn, means fewer moms will rest easy at night. Fewer jobs will be created in my home state, and less money will be reinvested in research and development for American consumers. All of this because of regulatory overreach. Regulatory overreach protecting no one except market incumbents elsewhere. When I hear stories like this, it makes me angry, makes me sad. It also makes me wonder about how many startups federal agencies kill that we never even hear about. I look forward to discussing with today's witnesses some of these issues, including issues about how the federal government can follow in the footsteps of Utah by enforcing the antitrust laws to the benefit of consumers and ensuring along the way that regulatory overreach doesn't stifle innovation and offset the gains we make with antitrust laws. Thanks.